I realise that I'm very late with this video, but it's the post-fight interview. It's not the post-fight interview. It's the post-fight review on Daniel Dubois and Joyce. So, Joyce, did he show me anything new? I suppose he kinda did. I said in the prediction video that Joe hammers his punches. When I watched the World Series of Boxing, he hammered his punches. A good example was when he fought Usyk, and he really hammered his punches because Usyk was able to throw him off with timing and distance, footwork, and we saw Joe kind of hammering. Did Joe hammer here? No, he didn't. He used his hammering fluidly. What I mean is, he works off a rhythm, Joe. Joe works off a rhythm with his hands, and his movement is kind of like, I don't know if anyone knows of like samba dancing or something like that, but basically Joe trains in a samba-like fashion, this capoeira-like thing, where he works, he kind of has a little, it's not like a dance per se, but it's a little tempo that he keeps running with his hands and that, and it's to lessen the rigidity that Joe tends to have. So it's less of the George Foreman style, where he's tight and he's clenched and he's rigid, and it's more fluid and loose. And it especially helped with Joe's jab. Joe's jab was very, it looked like a light jab. Like it looked like he wasn't worried about the force of the jab, like a pull-off, but it's more about the accuracy of the jab, the fluidity of the jab. I knew Joyce was a good mover, but I didn't know that he could actually show as much fluidity. And I thought with the uprightness and rigidness that Dubois would be able to attack. But as I say, this Joyce style, it's quite a hard one to crack, unless you are an Usyk, for example. But Dubois, yeah, he seems to be a good operator. I still think he's a good operator. Yes, mental maturity probably got to him a bit. He hadn't the extensive amateur experience. He didn't have the fast track professional experience either. But I do think he can come again, yes. And I was slightly concerned, not with this Joyce fight, but I was concerned that he was being moved quickly. I thought Joyce wouldn't be too bad of a person for Dubois to fight. Yes, I thought it would be more challenging. I didn't think that, he was going to get too badly beaten up, or it was going to be too one-sided. I thought Dubois will hold his own in there, despite being younger and less experienced, because of his jab, his boxing, etc. So I think that Dubois can definitely learn from this experience, and it means he's been to the well, and he can come again. And he'd probably have to take about 6 months at least out to let his eye heal and repair. He won't be allowed to spar anyway for 6 months. He'll keep on training, I would say, Dubois is not a guy to get out of shape between fights, and I think some more British level maybe before progressing him, but he's time on his side, so it's not like he has to immediately get a title shot anyway, because he's got loads of time to learn, and he's probably not peaked yet. He might not peak until he's about 26, so he's got a bit yet to learn and to develop his style, and he'll be able to do it, I think. And as far as Joe, Joe called out Usyk. A lot of people, they're not really too impressed, I think, with Usyk at heavyweight. I'm not terribly impressed, but he's definitely a good operator, and his footwork is really light years above most heavyweights, apart from Joyce himself, and maybe one or two others, That's all that's in it. So, as far as these two guys facing off again, I would like to see it. Why not? It won't be the best fight in the world, but then, I don't know, it might be fairly decent enough activity from the two guys. I could think of worse fights to make. And there's certainly one that Joe could win. I'm not writing Joe off at all. Joe's got attributes that a Derek Chisora doesn't have. He has that fluidity, he has that jab, he has the height, reach, and he's got the physical strength too over Usyk. Now, I don't think it would be anywhere near as sort of lopsided or whatever as the amateur fight was with the semi-professional contest. As if I was managing Joe, I wouldn't mind that fight, because you got Dylan White tied up, Anthony Joshua tied up, you got Joseph Parker, I suppose, whatever's happened to him. That could be a good fight as well, a good measuring stick really. So Joseph Parker or Usyk, Tyson Fury and them, they're all probably under contract for other fights, so they're the two names out of the hat that I would pick. Now, yeah, I think that's all bases covered. I still have to do the Pulev one with Joshua. Luckily, I still have a bit of time, so I'm not going to have to rush it to get it out. And maybe I could upload it next week instead of this week. Gives me enough time to get the visuals in to the video, and this video will be going out really as soon as I can get it rendered and edit it and get the other ones up.